What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Helen Gitlevich, or Dr. Helen Gitlevich. I was introduced by the commercial. And today's topic is life or death. Which one are you creating in your life and in your body? A lot of people are destroying their body and creating death of their body, of their finances, or death of their relationship. So let's play and see, which one are you choosing? Life or death? And as I said, my name is Dr. Helen Gitlevich. I'm a medical doctor by education, by profession. Went to U of I in Chicago and then Rush Medical College for medical school. Practiced in Chicago area, Illinois, in U.S. for about 10 years until I ended up with open heart surgery and kind of readjusted my life to accommodate no stress or less stress. Saying that, I went into major depression, anxieties, and a lot of complications. And eventually, or even before, I kind of was doing spirituality all my life. Ever since I was a kid, I was doing yoga, meditation, and then went into Akashic records. And eventually, 8 years ago, I found Access Consciousness. It changed my life. Everything I've done changed my life at some degree. That was just a little bit faster than the other ones. So today's show will be, as I said, life or death. And what do I mean by that? A lot of times what we do in our lives, we start creating unconsciousness in our bodies. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions actually have physical manifestations in our body, especially if we have points of view that are unconscious. The way it works, we live in this reality, and everything is linear. All the points of view, all the thoughts, feelings, emotions, they have electrical component to it. And I like science. So being a physician, I always was curious to go at the bottom of everything, how things work. So if you think about it, time is linear. Monday comes after Sunday. Tuesday comes after Monday, and so on and so forth. When we look at our future, it seems like it's going to be in the future, and the past is in the past. In reality, everything is simultaneous. As Einstein said, time is relative. And we don't think about it. We always think of it as linear. Oh, I don't have time for that because the day has 24 hours. I found out that a lot of times we can stretch time. How often did you get to a place where you were running late, but you actually came right on time? No matter how it looks like. It was supposed to take you an hour to get to work or to a party, but instead you made it there in 45 minutes or half an hour. And it's like, oh, wow. But instead of saying, oh my God, how does it get any better than that? You look, how did that happen? And guess what? You're blocking that magic ability. So with us thinking of time linear, everything, our bodies, everything living, our bodies, the molecules, our earth, everything is spherical or concentric. So when something living like a cell or a molecule comes in contact with linear concepts, either thoughts, feelings, emotions, or time, it creates stress in that sphere. So it kind of pushes things out, so it creates an ellipse. An ellipse is an egg shape instead of the spherical shape. So the cell becomes under stress from all those thoughts, feelings, emotions, and time concept. So we don't think about it, but it's all happening in the unconscious, subconscious, and energetic level. There's access consciousness that was created by Gary Douglas and co-created with Dr. Dane here. We work as energetic transformation of the body and our soul, our being. So we talk a lot of times on energetic level that bypasses, I just dropped my mouse from the computer. We talk a lot of times about the energetic level of what's going on in our bodies or in our mind that bypasses the cognitive. With everything that's going on in the world right now, we automatically, energetically pick up all those thoughts, feelings, and emotions of everybody. Everywhere where there is a war, everywhere where there is a hate, everywhere where there is stress, even if we are not under stress, we still pick it up energetically because we are energetic being. As an energetic being, we sense, we perceive, we know, we be and receive everything that's going on around us. With everything that's going on, our body, our cells, bombarded constantly with the linearity of this reality. And if we're not conscious enough of that, we start creating the stress in the cells. And that's how we create dis-ease or death. A lot of times we also create death in our bodies by thinking, oh, I cannot live like that. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this situation. Our bodies start creating that particles or particulates of death because body doesn't have any points of view. It has a certain system that keeps us in the body or kicks us out and kills the body. It doesn't matter what we choose. The body doesn't have a point of view about it. It just chooses the system that you're asking for. So if you're asking not to be here, it goes to the system that starts destroying the body. And by the way, that applies not just to the body, but also to every area of our lives, every sphere of our lives, to the money, to relationships, to everything that's going on in our life. Because everything is energetically conscious, I would say. Because money, same way like our body, listens to what we say, but also to what we think. So when we think we don't have money, guess what? We start creating it. There's an interesting thing that Gary Douglas was talking about. Matter, no matter, and anti-no matter. And we're not talking about antimatter that scientists working, though maybe it is related to that. But when we say it doesn't matter, we're creating what's called no matter system. And that no matter system pretty much creates us as we don't matter. And if we don't matter, we start creating, again, some dis-ease in the body, because if we don't matter, we shouldn't be here. That's kind of like the idea of what's going on with our bodies. Because body don't have a point of view, as I said. Body's like, okay, we don't matter. Cool. Let's start destroying ourselves so we would not be here if we don't matter. And we talk a lot about clearing statement and access. And the clearing statement is an energetic frequency that clears the points of view that interferes with whatever we're choosing. And so clearing statement is right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And you can read about that or look on the website, theclearingstatement.com. That will allow us to clear those energies. So everything that you make or made that doesn't matter, like ourselves, or made ourselves wrong, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate all of that? Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. So with those particulates, when we call up on them, especially if we decide that we cannot live like that, it slowly starts creating that. Exactly. Either cancer, heart disease, something that will destroy the body. Maybe not so fast. Sometimes fast. Sometimes people create something that kills them within a couple of weeks. Might be a car accident. Might be a cancer that kills for 10 years and make them suffer so they can prove to themselves that they deserve to die. Or that it's okay for them to die because they suffer so much. Because a lot of times our relatives, our close ones, our loved ones, they like for us to stay. Or we like them to stay, even that they're choosing something different. And it's time for our first break. So after the break, we'll be talking about more what are we choosing, life or death, and how we can actually choose things consciously and cognitively. And you've been listening to myself, Helen Gitlevich, on Creating Abundance with Ease on the Inspired Choices Network. So we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease, and today our show topic is life or death. And before we went to the break, we were discussing that we're creating death in our bodies. So it's about unconsciousness that creates death. Because in reality, or beyond this reality, we can live indefinite life. It's our choices, our thoughts, feelings, and emotions that by the virtue of creating unconsciousness and anti-consciousness, we kill our bodies. We allow the body to deteriorate by creating the diseases. So how do we actually choose? We can choose consciously. Okay, I'm choosing to die, or I'm choosing to live. Life or death. The process that's going on is not cognitive a lot of times. It's more energetic. So with all of that, it's about what we choose. Free will. Nobody believes in free will, or not nobody, but a lot of people don't believe in free will because we've dealt so much with karma. And we deal a lot with karma in Akashic records. And what is karma? Karma is when we unfinished something, when we promise something, when we have some contract and we die before we finish it. That program or programming makes us come back lifetime after lifetime. A lot of time the soul imprints it on a new body and keep recreating the old lifetime that was maybe 1,000 years ago when we were a slave and we promised to do something. We still behave like a slave in this lifetime. Would you be willing to destroy and uncreate all of it right now? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POT, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. With everything that we brought from other lifetimes, that's our habits, our points of view that start creating our reality. We talk about a lot with relationship. When we act and be and do things in the relationship out of the karmic or out of habit, as I call it, because karma is nothing more than just another habit that we inherited from our past lives. So when or not necessarily even past lives, karma could be created in this lifetime. Let's say we learn the behavior as a kid, and we bring that behavior, those thoughts, feelings, and emotion in the new relationship that we have, let's say our marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is. We bring those points of view in there. So we are not creating from the free will, we are now creating from the karma, from the habit. So there is no creativity or creation anymore. It's all almost like, if you remember the LPs, the old vinyls, the records, where the needle would get stuck. I don't know, I'm that old. Not that old, but I still remember the records. And you can probably buy them in an antique store. But when the needle would get stuck in the same position, you would hear the same part of the song or the same tune over and over and over again. Same thing with a karmic or habit that we create either in our bodies or in our relationship or with our money. Money is also another form of relationship, by the way. So with that, and the more needle goes around the record, the more it creates that groove that eventually destroys the record, because it stretches the record the same way. So eventually you have to throw away the records. That's the same way we destroy our bodies. We keep recreating the same loop that keeps us creating the destruction of our body. So what if we actually chose something different? What if we, instead of keep going in that groove that the needle gets stuck in, we take that needle, lift it up, and put it on a different song? That's the same way we can choose life over death. And by the way, life or death, it doesn't matter in the cosmic reality. Death is nothing more than just starting over. It's just a reset for the computer, because we live in a virtual reality. Each one of us have different reality, as we would say. If you ever saw Matrix, it kind of gives exactly what we live by, because we created our own world by our thoughts, feelings, and emotions. It could be correct in relationship to other people, or it might not. A lot of times we create the ideas in our mind the way it should be or is, which is not true. Because we function from, as I said, from all those implants and explants of the habit or karma or past lives or past experiences. So we have fantasies. We have ideas. Talking about the fantasy of my prince will come. We talk a lot about that, oh, my prince will come and save me, and we have an idea of how a relationship should be or shouldn't be. So when we meet somebody, the first impression, oh, he's the one or she is the one. And with that, we look at them through the eyes of the fairy tale. When we look through the fantasy of fairy tale, that's one side. When they behave out of character, we might not see it, but then we have another side of the story that maybe we experience some abuse, maybe we experience betrayal, lies. So we also look at our partner, at our body, through that lens. It's almost like having multiple glasses on the top of each other, and we never actually look at what is in front of us. So when we are creating from those lenses of past experiences or thoughts, feelings, and emotions. We're looking through mosaic of kaleidoscopic glasses, and we don't even see what's in front of us. What if we actually took those glasses off? What if you could start a different tune, a different record? Knowing what I know now, it actually creates a different reality. Access consciousness, as I said, created so much difference for me that I've decided to facilitate classes. And by the way, if you're curious, I'm doing different classes around the world, and there are a few coming up. Some of them online, some of them in person, and some of them both, in person and online. And I'm actually going to have a free Zoom coming in about an hour after we're done with the radio show. We'll be talking how much fun can we add to our life. And you can find that on Access webpage or also on Facebook, Creating Abundance with Ease. It has an event page. But if you don't have a computer, you can get from the phone. If you use Zoom meetings, you can just join us by the virtue of meeting ID. And I'll just say it on the air, 956-641-055. So you can register for that Zoom, and you can get the recording afterwards, or just join us live. And we're coming to time for our second break. And after the break, we'll be talking about our next show that I will be doing with my daughter, who will be a guest speaker on Creating Abundance with Ease, Rachel Gitlevich. So we'll talk about the next show after the break. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Helen Gitlevich, on the Inspired Choices Network. And we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease, and today our show topic is life or death. So before we went to break, we were discussing the future classes and our next show with my daughter, Rachel Gitlevich, who is a certified mindfulness coach and breathwork facilitator. She creates a sacred environment so the individual can connect deeply with their unique capacities and aspiration. So we'll be talking about what it actually meant to grow up with spirituality and consciousness, and having a mom who dragged her daughter all over the place, including when she was 5 years old. I brought her to yoga class and pretty much shoved consciousness down her throat. So we'll be talking about that next week. And if you're interested about classes, as I was talking about, we do have a free Zoom coming up. And again, meeting ID is 956-641-055. And it will be also broadcasted on Facebook Live, on my page, Creating Abundance with Ease. And that will be at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. I also am going to be doing body class in Austin this weekend, starting Friday. And you can join us live for that. Also, there would be a class, Introduction to Akashic Records, which will be in Austin as well on Saturday night. And it will be broadcasted on Zoom. Not sure Facebook Live, but that we will look energetically. And that would be in the evening on Saturday, February 15 at 7:30. Also, there would be a class in Rome. I will be doing a couple of classes. One of them is Orgasmic Body, and it will be live. And also on a Zoom available on February 20th at 7 p.m. local time. I think Central Time it's noon. Also, there will be a 3-day body class in Rome, as well as 3-day body class in Tel Aviv. The 3-day body class in Rome will be on February 21st or 23rd, and Tel Aviv, or actually it's between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and Maccabim on March 12th through 14th. And do we have a caller? So we'll see if we have a caller. But anyway, okay, she was just asking how she could listen to show live, and she can join now. So let's talk about life or death. So we started talking a little bit about that unconsciousness creates death in our body. So with, and what do I mean by unconsciousness? There is the way we live consciously. It's when we are aware, when we know what we're doing, and we're doing it. We're choosing from conscious awareness, conscious choices, conscious question, possibility, and contribution. And then there are times when we do things on autopilot. We're kind of not aware of what's going on, and one of my friends actually fell down and broke her wrist a few days ago, partly because in that moment she was not conscious of her environment. She was not aware there was ice under the snow, and she slipped and fell. That's what I'm talking about, creating death from unconsciousness. Because, yeah, she broke her wrist, so she damaged her body. She was in a lot of pain. There is also another way of functioning, which is anti-consciousness. And partly we function in our lives from anti-consciousness. It's anti-consciousness is when we aware, so we are conscious somewhat. We know what to do, and we do the opposite. We totally disregard ourselves. So when we function either unconsciously or anti-consciously, we function against ourselves. So we start creating dis-ease or illnesses or accidents with our body. We start creating accidents, quote unquote, in our relationships, arguments, conflicts, and we create accidents of losing money, not earning money, not having money. So are you willing to destroy and uncreate all of it right now? Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, talk and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So with all of that unconsciousness and anti-consciousness, we start creating destruction of the body. We start creating decay of the body. And that's how we kick our soul, our being, out of the body so the body dies. A lot of times people also choose to stay in the dying body, in decaying body, for much longer than it is necessary, partly because they are obligated to the loved ones. Maybe they are obligated to the universe, to earth, to consciousness. There are so many contracts why people stay way beyond the time when they were supposed to leave their body. People in coma, people in a state of kind of like severe pain and suffering. That's when people choose death over life. Because life is exuberant way. Life is about having joy in our lives. Being alive means we are aware, we have fun, we enjoy our bodies. That's what life is about. A lot of people talk about purpose of life. Purpose of life is just to have fun. Purpose of life is to enjoy being alive. Because as a being, we don't feel, or as a being without the body, we cannot touch. We cannot have fun of having sex. We cannot have fun of swimming in the ocean. We cannot have fun of hugging a baby or playing with a baby. So what if we actually start choosing life instead of death? Because any time when we are sad, depressed, angry, we are choosing against life. We are choosing death. All of those are destructive implants to push us into dying. I want you to think of the moment when you actually had fun. It doesn't have to be now, preferably now. As Gary Douglas say, if this is not the best day of my life, I might as well die. So what if every day could be so joyful, so much fun, so much life that we actually desire to have the body and to be alive? And anything that doesn't allow you to be that and have that, will you destroy and uncreate that? Right and wrong, good and bad, talk and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I would like to do a little meditation so we can experience that oneness of life and joy. That usually is created when we are expanded. When we are contracted, we start creating decay of the body. So let's expand. So if you're at home, sitting or laying down, just close your eyes and just sense your body, every molecule. If you're driving or operating heavy machinery, please don't do that. Don't close your eyes, but you still can sense your body. And see if you have any barriers. And we've created so many barriers over our lives, and I'm talking about multiple lives, not just this lifetime. So push those barriers down. Just ask them to be destroyed, push them down, and start expanding from your heart. Maybe a couple of inches outside your skin. You're still there, right? And expand more. Expand maybe to the size of the room that you're in. Now maybe a kilometer if you're everywhere other than America and England. I think England is now switching to the kilometers and metric system. So expand a kilometer or a mile if you're in the States. 10 miles or 10 kilometers. 100 miles or kilometers. Make yourself as big as maybe the city you're in or a neighborhood, and keep expanding like a sphere of light. Front, back, sides, right, left, up, down. And keep expanding. 1,000 miles, 1,000 kilometers. 10,000. 100,000. Make yourself as big as Earth and sense the planet. Sense what is required or desired of us right now. And let's contribute whatever we're willing to contribute today, and ask Earth to contribute to us. And let's expand even more. Let's expand to the size of the solar system, Milky Way, our galaxy, and beyond. Make yourself as big as the whole universe and beyond. And now, without contracting, bring your attention into your body, because you're that space between the molecules. And allow yourself to sense that space and fill that space with light. Fill that space with the light of consciousness. If you see any dark spots in your body, just fill that with light and allow that light to wash away, because darkness is nothing more just absence of light. So just switch light on in those areas of your body and allow that light to expand again throughout the whole universe. And bring your attention into your body again and see if there is any molecules that ready to switch their polarity that's not working right now. Allow that switch just to go up and turn it on and allow it to expand again. And just now, sense your body. How does your body feel? Is there any change in anything that you're experiencing? And just bring your attention into your life. Bring that life into your focus and bring that light that's between the molecules, expand it into every area of your life. Thank you. And with that, we are going on our third and final break of the show. When we'll return, we will talk a little bit about your experience with the meditation and you are listening to the Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Helen Gitlevich, on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease, and today our show topic is life or death. So before we went on the break, we did a meditation of expansion. How are you feeling right now? Just sense your body. Just see if there is any change in what you've changed with that light. And as I said during the meditation, darkness or death or anything that we create, the unconsciousness and anti-consciousness, is pretty much the absence of light, absence of consciousness. So the more we can fill it up with light, with consciousness, with our awareness, with our choices, the more we start creating more of consciousness instead of unconsciousness. More we can create joy instead of upset. More we can create a fun and ease and life instead of death and decay. A lot of times when we have so many points of view, especially with positive and negative polarity, we go into what's called calibration system. Oh, this is right choice, this is wrong choice, but then we calibrate between them. And that calibration system a lot of times is also part of the unconsciousness. So what if instead of calibration of the unconsciousness and anti-consciousness, we totally allow us to choose based on our free will instead of right, wrong, good, bad, black, white. Whatever we are choosing is based on free will. The more we start creating life. The more we choose based on right and wrong, the more we're actually killing our body, killing our money, killing our finances, killing our relationship. And people say, wait a second, how can I kill my relationship with doing the right things? Well, a lot of times, right things are just points of view. You might decide what's right for you. The other person has a totally different idea what's right for them. And a lot of times those things do not kind of work together. But there is a right point of view, people say. There is truth. Well, truth is in the eye of the beholder. And yes, there are certain things that are true for you. And in other shows, we did talk about light and heavy too. So whatever is true feels light. Whatever is heavy will always be a lie for you. Might be truth for somebody else. Even the superstition, it depends on the culture. I know with a black cat, when a black cat crosses the street in front of you, in Russian culture, it's a bad luck. In England, it's a good luck. So everything is a matter of perspective, matter of points of view. So what if we give up our points of view in a way of awareness, in a way of consciousness, so we can choose moment to moment? So our show kind of like coming to the end this week, but as I said, there is always next Wednesday, or it is going on a podcast, and you can find the podcast of those shows on a lot of different apps, including iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. And you can find it also on my Facebook page, all the links, as well as on Inspired Choices Network. So next week will be the show with my daughter, as I said, and we'll be talking a lot about conscious choices, spiritual choices, and how we might resist it or how we can choose that. I'm not going to give away everything we'll be talking about, and especially that majority will be based on Rachel's experience of her points of view, how she was growing up with somebody who was determined to change her life, and not always in a good way or easy way. So you can always check my next classes, and my invitation to you is choosing for you. Don't choose classes because I said so or somebody else said so. Don't choose modality or points of view. Choose for what is true for you. When you look at the schedule, always check what feels light, what feels expanding for you. So if Austin Body Class, and by the way, for Austin Body Class, you do need to have foundation and the bars class, and so is for Rome class. For the Zoom and Intro to Akashic Records or Orgasmic Body, you don't need any prerequisites. And as I said, you can join on those online from anywhere in the world. It will be translated into Italian, and if you require translation, you can always contact me or the hosts, and we always can arrange a translator for your language if we have enough people. So with that, the last couple of thoughts is what we talked about. The more we fill our lives with choices, with our free will, with contribution, and as I said, we create from choice, contribution, possibilities, and we are almost done with the show. My invitation to you, start creating joy, start creating laughter, start creating more of what's fun for you. And I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Bye-bye.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life